Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Beyond Breakfast. We're doing Rav Dessler. We're going to use his little Nichtam Eliyahu on the Chodesh ELul and help us prepare a little bit and get into the depths of what it really means to grow and accomplish our unique mission in this world. So yesterday, just to go a quick review, we spoke about the idea, the challenge of Torah itself, that Torah is a double-edged sword, that on the one hand, it has the power of bringing life. On the other hand, it has the power of harming. So, which one is it? Is it the poison or is it the cure? Is it the remedy or is it the destructive force? So he says that ultimately, if you have the schut, he calls it a sam chaim. It's quoting the Gemara in Yoma, zacha nasi lo sam chaim, velo zacha nasi lo sam mavet. So what makes it into a sam mavet? It depends on your yirat shamayim, he says. That ultimately, if you're someone that does not have yirat shamayim and all you're using Torah is academic interest in it, but you're not really learning and growing and developing, it's not moving you to change and grow, then it's going to be destructive. But if you're using it as a Torah learning, as a way of developing yourself, if the Torah that you're learning is able to change how you spoke or how you act, if it's able to help you feel a moment of yirat shamayim, if you can't name one behavioral change that came out as a result of your learning this week, just be very careful. It might be that you're learning Shalom Lishma, and therefore it could become not something that is a Sam Chaim, but rather a Sam Mavet. So he's going to continue and talk to us a little bit about today about the land of Israel as a test. Yesterday was about Torah as a test. So he says as follows: he says, the land of Israel is one of the three great gifts that God has given to the people of Israel. That's a Shemot Rabbah. This does not mean merely the physical or geographical aspects of the land of Israel, but above all, the holiness of the land. It is an actual fact which can be experienced in present times. If you've been in Israel, I certainly feel the Kedusha of Israel. There's something unique about that place, and the truth is that I could prove it to you. The whole world is looking at Israel right now, and the whole world is upset about Israel because of all the things that it should or should not be doing. That is the battleground for all spirituality today in 2025. It's actually the battleground, without realizing it, for Western morality. Global morality is tied to that. The world has been able to accomplish all the unique things that it's been able to accomplish over the last 100 years, simply because, let's say 85 years post-Holocaust, because of Judeo-Christian values, built on top of Jewish values. Moshe Rabbeinu, after 120 years it is an actual fact that we experience in the present times. There is something about Eretz Yisrael, about Israel, that makes the mind work better. The spirit grows stronger than elsewhere. Moses, after 120 years of life, in which he had reached the utmost in spiritual achievement ever attained by a human being, still longed to enter into the land of Israel. Why? Was it to enjoy its fruits? Was he looking for seedless watermelons or cherry tomatoes? As a rabbi rhetorically asked, no. It was in order to fulfill those mitzvot which can be performed in the land of Israel. That is, to reach a still higher level in divine service, unattainable outside of Eretz Yisrael. There's something unique. There's certain mitzvot. Most of the Torah itself only makes sense in the land of Israel. He says, Nevuah, prophecy, is attainable only in Israel. You can still get prophecy outside of Israel, but the first prophecy has to happen in Israel. There is no Torah learning that learned in Eretz Yisrael. There is no Torah learning like that learned in Eretz Yisrael. That's the Bereshit Rabbah. After 20 years of incomparable service, during which he gained the title the Man of Truth, Yaakov Avinu piled up all his possessions he had amassed in Padan Aram, which is like Syria, and gave them to Esav in exchange for his share in the cave of Machpelah, that's in Hebron. Property earned outside of Eretz Yisrael is of no value to me, he explained. That's Rashi, Bereshit. His service of God in the Holy Land could not be mediated by property of non-holy origin. He wanted something that has real kiyum, and that's kiyum is from the land of Israel. But there are dangers lurking even in this very powerful tool. Eretz Yisrael itself can lead one away from Torah. And by the way, so much what's happening right now in Israel with the Haredim, I think is an expression of this. We see this in our own time and wonder. But this is not new. Why, when exile from the land of Israel, the land is imminent because of the sin of idolatry. God says, I will exile you from the land that caused you to sin. One who chooses to rebel can learn to sin even from Eretz Yisrael. And therefore, if the Torah, again, not lishma, not driving you to grow, if your Torah learning is coming from a place of rigilut, which is called a dead habit, then something is off. But to leave Eretz Yisrael voluntarily is no solution. On the contrary, if we are prone to sin in the Holy Land, how much more in a polluted land? Idolatry of all kinds is more rife outside of Eretz Yisrael. The only answer is to strengthen oneself and face up the trials of the test of Eretz Yisrael presents, to reject the arrogance and to choose the holiness and to work for the day when God will once again assert his rule over us. In the thunderous words of the prophet Yechezkel, my people, what you plan will never happen. You will say, we will be like the nations, like the families of the earth, but I will rule over you, even if it has to be with a mighty hand and with an outpouring of fury. Stinging words from the Navi over there, Yechezkel. So therefore, even living in Israel can be a test. It's unclear if people living there are ready for that powerful experience. You know, there's in Devarim we said, Eretz Asher Hashem Lokecha Doresh Ota Tamid Einei Alokecha Ba Mereshit Hashna V'Ad Achrit Hashana. Right, the land of Israel is unique because God has His eyes always upon it from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. So there's something powerful about the land of Israel. You can't rely on the environment to protect you. The environment could also be an amplifier for bad habits. If you're not rooted in growth, if you are not developing the self, if you're not building on your midot, my friends, you're in trouble. Therefore, the month of ELul, I think what he's getting at is all about recognizing you could be in the most spiritual bubble in the world, no matter where you are, Mea Shearim, Bnei Brak, wherever, Lakewood, but if there's no growth in what you're doing, be mindful that the place you're in could amplify the bad midot. If you have that a spiritual blemish that is not being taken care of, it's like an infection that will spread. B'ezrat Hashem, tomorrow we'll talk about the Yamim Neraim as a days of tests. Have a great day, everybody.